Hi everyone, my name is Rachel. Thank you so much for joining Kids Church Online. Today we're going to be learning about how God chose a small shepherd boy to be the next king of Israel. Let's hear Miss Joyce read the story.
Well, today we're going to have a story. It's in the Bible, on the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verses 1 to 13. So the story is, God calls a shepherd's boy. When he grew up, Samuel was one of God's prophets. One day, God spoke to Samuel. Samuel, get ready to go on a journey, God said. It's time to find a new king. Take some oil as a sign of my blessing and set out. Go to Bethlehem and visit a man named Jesse. One of his sons will be the new king. So Samuel got ready and left for Bethlehem. When he arrived, Samuel invited all the people to come for worship. Jesse and his sons received a special invitation. Everyone gathered for worship. Samuel looked at Jesse's oldest son, Eliab, and saw that the young man was tall and strong. This must be the one God has called to be king. Samuel thought, Eliab is tall and strong. He walks like a king, looks like a king, he acts like a king. He must be the new king. But God disagreed. Don't look at his height or how strong he looks, God said. I look at a person is like on the inside. Eliab will not be the king. One by one, Jesse presented each of his sons to Samuel, and every time God said, no, he's not the one. Samuel was confused. God had told Samuel that one of Jesse's sons would be the new king. Why hadn't God called any of them? Samuel turned to Jesse and asked, do you have any other sons? I have one more son, but he's just a boy. Jesse answered, his name is David, and he is out looking after the sheep. Bring him here immediately, ordered Samuel. I want to meet him. When David arrived, God said, this is the one I have called to be the king. Samuel asked David to kneel down. Then he poured special oil over David's head. Now everyone knew that David had been set apart to do God's work. From that moment on, God's Spirit was with David in a special way. Samuel went back home, and David went back to the sheep. God said that David would be the king one day, but for now, David would wait faithfully. So what we can learn with this lesson? We can learn that God doesn't look our appearance. God looks our heart, because God looks inside of us, His love inside of us.
What a great story. Today we learned that God looks at the heart when choosing his servants, not at your height or your build. So to remember this story, we're going to be making this card. So what you're going to need is a sheet of paper, scissors, tape, wax paper or parchment paper, and crayons. joining us this week. We'll see you next week.